Hello and welcome to a Jaren 134 video, and in today's video we're going to be looking at Advanced Systems Care version 6. Once you have installed Advanced Systems Care 6, which everything that I talk about will be linked in the description below. Once you have installed Advanced Systems Care 6, you want to completely close out of the program and go to its Start menu entry and right-click it and run the program as administrator. As you see here, run as administrator. When the program opens by running as administrator, because you have to click yes, when the program opens, you're greeted with the scan option, and all the checkboxes here will be checked. For me, I have the disk defrag unchecked because I use the Smart Defrag by IOBIT, which is the same company that created Advanced Systems Care. You can open Smart Defrag as administrator, which you should do, and you're greeted with the ability to go into the settings and schedule the time you would like for a full optimized defrag of your system, so you do not have to wait whenever Advanced Systems Care comes up to scan. You're not going to have to wait for the defrag, because having defrag be a separate program in its own, it can defrag in the background at its scheduled time, which is what Smart Defrag does. And you don't have to worry with waiting extreme amounts of time for Advanced Systems Care to get finished with the defrag. Also, Smart Defrag includes a defrag for boot time, which means it can defrag your system's boot files to help your computer boot faster. You can choose the different options: only next boot, every first boot, every day first boot, every boot, every 7 days, and you can move the slider to how many days you want it to be. But I like it to be on every boot because it just helps the system that way, in my opinion. And that is a look at it, Smart Defrag that goes along with using Advanced Systems Care. Now, going back to Advanced Systems Care, you can leave all the other checkboxes checked because they won't take the long amounts of time to perform their tasks like the defragging will. And none of these other tasks have a separate program that you can download for them. They all reside within Advanced Systems Care. Now, if you're running the Pro version, which I will have linked to the free version, because the Pro version does cost money, if you're running the free version, you won't be able to perform the settings I'm about to go over here. I'm going to go over these settings, but you won't get them unless you're in the Pro version. Well, at least most of them. For the free version, you will be able to enable the performance monitor, which means this thingy down here that I'm moving around. You place it on your screen where you would like it. I prefer it to be here with the tray, the systems tray. And it shows you your CPU percentage of usage and your RAM's percentage of usage. The next thing you're going to see is the malware removal screen. On the malware removal screen, you can tell it to skip files larger than 10 megabytes. I prefer it not to be set to skip files larger than 10 megabytes because the scan doesn't really take that long. But you can make the scan go faster if you choose for it not to scan files larger than 10 megabytes. And you can have it set to remove threats to the recycle bin, but I do not do that. I just let it completely delete. Now down here it says Pro, because if you want to enable full detection range of malware, you're going to need to have the Pro version. If you were to click this and you do not have the Pro version, it will promote for you to get the Pro version. And next you have the registry fix, which is automatically has everything checked as it should be. But then you have another option to enable deep clean, which is only available in the Pro version. Then under privacy sweep, you can choose these options yourself. And you can choose these options yourself because it will not have all the cookies and history, index files, all that stuff will not be selected under each browser and Windows component dilly bobber thingy that it is going to scan. You have to manually select, which I have all selected because I don't care for my history to be erased or any of that good stuff, because it helps your computer to it speeds up your internet browsing and it helps your computer run faster to have your internet's browsing history deleted. Next, you don't want to do anything but make sure both two boxes are checked. Other than that, you don't want to mess with any of this, because if you do, you can cause your Windows to not load properly when it boots, which I have experienced that happening. So you want to make sure that down here under additional, the two boxes are checked, but everything that's checked up here is the way it needs to be, and everything else is not checked the way that it is set. Then here's where another Pro version only option comes into play. You have systems optimization. You can't change this if you do not have the Pro version. But if you do have the Pro version, you want to choose top performance for anyone that wants top systems performance, which I'm sure that's what you'll want. And then for cable and DSL modems, you'll choose DSL for your network optimization. Unless you're on a wireless device like a laptop, you can select wireless. But if you're on a broadband connection, you'll select DSL. Then you so you can skip this defrag because it's not going to perform that option anyway. Now, if you are not a Pro member, you cannot set a schedule. But if you are using the Pro version, you can set a schedule. I like my schedule to be set for every day at 5 p.m. And then you can select what task you want it to perform. You want it to do everything like it should. And then under auto clean, it will clean when your computer first boots, and you need to be Pro for that as well. And then under automatic updates, you have to be Pro for that, but you can select to check for updates when the program starts. And then you have safe search, surfing protection for your internet, and you have to be Pro for that as well. And then you have Active Optimizer, which will actively, because of the performance monitor down here, it runs in the background and actively monitors and boosts your open or running programs. Only if you're in Pro version, as you can see there. And the rest here you don't want to mess with. The only options that you may want to mess with here beyond the active optimization is the transparency. You can decide how transparent or non-transparent you want the program to be, and you can choose between 3 different skins, and I like to leave it as the classic skin. Now when the scan goes ahead and gets started, it looks a little like this. When the program is open, you go ahead and you click scan. When the scan begins, the first thing it will do is scan for malware. This process may take a little bit of time, so I will skip the video ahead. So once the program has completed each task as it is scanning your computer, you will see out beside each task's labeled name the amount of problems it has found, and it will be highlighted in red. Each item that has no issue and needs no clean will have a check mark in a green circle, highlighted in green. And as it goes along, once it gets past malware and registry, the rest of the scans go pretty quickly until it gets to disk scan, which takes about a minute, but it doesn't really take that long. And you'll see that whatever needs to be cleaned and fixed, you'll see in red, and whatever does not need a fix will be in green with a check mark. Underneath the scanning process, how much progress, it has a checkbox, and I have checked it for it to automatically repair the problems when it gets completed. It will automatically repair the problems for me. If you do not check this box, it will wait and have a box for you to click and choose to repair when you are ready. I prefer for it to automatically repair for me. And as you see here, it is now performing the automatic repair. It is cleaning my privacy temporary files from Google Chrome and blah blah blah. And you see how fast that went along. Repair has finished. Now you just select back, and you are now back at the main window. The next thing about Advanced Systems Care is the Toolbox section. In the Toolbox section, you are greeted with a load of options. to wrap this video up, we're going to talk about Turbo Booster. Turbo Booster is similar to the Game Booster because you can turn it on in game mode. Now, when you have Turbo Booster turned off, you would, when you've not even ever used it at all before, say this is the first time you've ever ran Advanced Systems Care, when you get to Turbo Booster, you hit the configure underneath, turn on, and from there you can select gaming mode or work mode. Gaming mode is for someone who wants to get optimal speed out of their computer if they're going to be running large graphical games. When you hit next, if you selected gaming mode, you're just going to choose what components in Windows you'd like to disable. I don't need Windows keyboard hotkeys. I don't have a printer. I don't have a scanner or any of that. I don't have tablet input tools, and I don't need proxy detection. So I can check those and clear them. I do have a Bluetooth device, and you do need Windows updates, and you do need application compatibility cache. So you just go through here and check based off of what your system is actually using and what you actually use on your system, and the rest can be checked to be disabled. Then you're brought to your items that start up with your system, or that services that run in the background when your computer is started. You do not need to mess with this unless you know you absolutely do not need the service. And then you are also brought to a screen that will let you select different background applications you'd like to close. Most of the time you don't want to close these, because if you close the monitor and optimize memory usage, you will close the smart RAM application will be closed. So only close items you are 100% sure you do not need. And finally, you will be asked if you would like to change to the Advanced Systems Care power plan on your system. If you're happy with the allotted time the computer waits before your screen shuts off or your computer goes into sleep mode, you will just choose no, keep my current power plan, which I'm going to do. And then you have turn on Turbo Boost at Windows startup. You can choose not to, or put the blue dot and choose to do so, which I like to allow it to do so at Windows startup. It will configure and start, and you will now have Turbo Boost activated. And this has been a Jaren 134 video. This has been an overview of Advanced Systems Care 6.0. If you liked this video, please click the subscribe button below. Don't forget to like this video and share it. All the support helps. And I'll see you in the next one.